There are 5 behaviors that can make a woman not value you. It's sad, but there are certain actions you can take when trying to win over a woman that greatly diminish her perception of your value and respect for you. It's important to understand that a woman will devalue you when she doesn't perceive value in you. This means she will devalue you when she doesn't recognize value in you as a person. However, it's crucial to understand that a woman's perception of value and the value she assigns to you do not determine your real worth. No woman is the benchmark for evaluating the quality or value of men. However, it's important to have clarity about certain attitudes that can diminish her perception of your value. These attitudes don't arise out of nowhere or spontaneously, but often result from a lack of self-appreciation. So, first and foremost, it's essential to work on these internal issues to recognize the greatness within you, because you are indeed an amazing man. At the same time, it's important to identify and correct behaviors that diminish a woman's perception of your value. Often, you may think you're doing everything right to win her over and make her fall in love, but in reality, these behaviors are devaluing you. It's crucial to understand that even though she may seem interested at first, these behaviors can cause her to lose attraction to you over time. When I say, stepping on men, it's a figurative expression. I'm not saying that women literally step on men. It's important never to put yourself in the victim role, blaming the woman for anything. No woman has the power to step on you unless you allow it. The truth is, you only live what you tolerate. So, the first lesson of this video is that men who allow themselves to be stepped on by women are the ones who suffer the most. Now, let's get to the 5 attitudes that show you're allowing yourself to be stepped on and that make a woman not value you. The first one is when you insist on proving that you can conquer a woman who has made it clear she's not interested. For example, if she clearly says she feels nothing for you, you decide in your mind that you'll conquer her anyway, as if it were a challenge. This may seem surreal, but there are plenty of stories I've heard along these lines. Understand one thing, you're not a Prince Charming, you're a human being. So, forget about the idea of conquering someone. What do you really want? You want a woman who matches the man you are, someone who shares your virtues and is constantly evolving, just like you. Therefore, you're not trying to win over a specific person, like Maria or Paula. You're seeking a relationship with a valuable woman. The second attitude that makes a woman not value you is when you make a threat or set a boundary but don't follow through. Every time you say something and don't follow through, you're devaluing yourself in her eyes. This is because she perceives you as someone who doesn't honor your own words. For example, let's say you're in a relationship and express the desire for your partner to share photos of you together on social media. However, even after expressing your concern, she continues to post only solo photos or with friends, giving the impression of a single life. You then bring up the issue again, making it clear that it's important to you and that you'd like her to change. If she takes no action, you may even threaten that the relationship won't continue if things don't change. However, if you don't follow through with this threat and continue in the same situation, you're devaluing yourself each time. The third attitude is treating this woman as if she were superior to you. When you put the woman on a pedestal, treating her as something special above you, her interest in you can diminish rapidly. This can happen even with simple things like excessive messaging and seeming desperate, always being available and initiating conversations all the time. I remember a story a friend told me to this day. She said, "I went on a date with a man, and when I went on this date, the image I had of him was of an attractive man with an interesting life. He really had good looks and an interesting life. He did things that suited me. So, we met, greeted each other, sat at the table, and started talking. At one point, his nonverbal communication became very excited and enthusiastic. He then said, 'I can't believe it. It's more likely for me to leave this restaurant and run into Elon Musk than to find a woman like you for a date.' At first, I laughed and even felt flattered. But after that, he started telling stories about his past, and in those stories, he seemed to devalue himself a lot compared to his ex. During the date, he talked a lot about himself and asked few questions about me. I'm someone who likes to encourage the other person to talk about themselves. In the end, he was enchanted, and I wasn't. This teaches us another lesson: the most seductive person is the one who speaks less. The most seductive person is usually the one who speaks less in most interactions. The person who is seducing tends to speak less because the person who speaks more is usually more emotionally invested. The more you ask the right questions, powerful questions, to make a woman open up more, the more emotionally invested she'll become. So, an attitude that makes a woman not value you is treating her as superior to you. Understand that no one is superior or better than anyone else. Get used to seeing all women as equals. Forget the social limitations that try to create in your mind, like popularity or number of followers. All women are normal human beings. The fourth attitude that makes a woman not value you is chasing after her when she pulls away or cools off. If she says she's busy and keeps distancing herself, the likelihood of her valuing you in this situation is practically zero. Don't insist. Investing isn't insisting, and investing also isn't being foolish. Investing is showing interest because something interests you, just like you're interested in traveling to the beach or learning more about certain subjects. The fifth attitude that definitely makes a woman not value you is victimizing yourself. Sometimes, this only happens in your own mind. You shouldn't victimize yourself because it can result in at most pity or even a certain contempt. Begging for attention because a woman isn't giving you the attention you think you deserve isn't a mature attitude. There are other ways to position yourself and act like a mature man in this situation, which don't involve lamenting or victimizing yourself. So, those are the 5 attitudes that make a woman not value you. And you, have you found yourself in any of these situations? Tell us in the comments. If this video was helpful to you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button below.